Well, I hope the video stays and the audio stays. We've been having troubles lately. It's chilly in the house, and it is November. Um, if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Tina. Yes, ma'am. Come here. Come. What? You're nudging me and then you leave. I think I found them all. I'm gonna be sitting here going, I gotta get this one. I gotta get that one. Please check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps every single Friday. And my if thens on Friday afternoons. I got a little carried away with Halloween. We did some Thanksgiving. We're gonna be moving into Christmas. And there's in the olden days, and I was telling this to a young girl the other day. There was this unspoken law way, way back when. You didn't talk about Christmas till the day after Thanksgiving. All the stores rolled out all of their Christmas stuff Black Friday. Not anymore. You walk into the store, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas all in the same aisle. What the f up with that? But anyways, and don't forget my daily book reviews and my Dean Koontz. We're alternating Dean Koontz advice for the furry and for long with his dog Anna, and my cats, or if cats could talk. I've got a few, but there should be something every day at 5. So check that out. And there should be a video every single day. And Fridays 2 videos from me. The Star Trek Next Generation recaps and if that. If you like this author, then maybe like that author. But we started out with the Bridgertons way back when. Go check those out. I'm going to be tackling those again for Christmas. I did homicides. I did forensics. I did Scotland Yard. I did werewolves. I did witches. Covered the whole spectrum. Then we got into Halloween. And then I did horror, suspense, thriller. If you haven't seen my video for Out There Screaming, go check that out. If you haven't seen my video for American Indians authors, Tony Hillerman, check those out. If you haven't seen my Karen McQuillan time travel, please go check those out. No one's watched them. And of course, Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine, my favorite magazine in the whole wide world, and it's very rare. Very rare. You can't get this anywhere. They were in business from the 80s till 2016. I discovered them late. I wish I discovered them 10 years sooner, it would have been so much better. So we started with 2007 and we're working our way till 2016. Then we'll do some specials after that. And we are currently up to February 2012. What? Here there. So we cover Regencies, mysteries. Oh, I need to. Oh, good. There's a pen. There's good. All right. So I love this magazine. I can read it for hours. I'm going to do this. If I can figure out how to make it a today version, I'll see. But what are they reading around the world? This would be a good video. Ah, I just love this magazine. Oh, there's a page I forgot. Okay. I don't. I thought I lined these all up. And already I'm missing one. Okay. Kristen Callahan. Firelight. 4.5 stars. And most of the books I do for these videos are for at least 4.5 stars. We will do a 3 every once in a while. And for the rare author that really had a bad month, but they're a really good author and they got a 2, we'll every once in a while include those. I think it was Daniel Steele's 44th Street. They only gave her a 2 for that. And some of Laurel's. If you see my other videos, Laurel's up there. 1 or 2 of hers got 2s too. Oh, who, by the way, I should do a short. I should do a short on this. So, she has let it be known that she has completed book 10 of Mary. And it's been like 10 years since she's done a Mary. I personally would like an Anita book, but that ain't gonna happen for a while. So it was a Firelight, Kristen Callahan. 4.5 stars. Like moths to a flame, readers will be drawn to the flickering firelight and get entangled in the first of the Dark London series. Combining Stephen King's Carrie and Beauty and the Beast, Callahan crafts a tout tale with sexual tension. Miranda Ellis' gifts and curse destroyed her family's fortune, and she's forced to marry the mysterious, masked, and disfigured Lord Benjamin Archer. Archer feels passion for his flame-haired bride, but she demands more than he can offer. Miranda begins to have suspicions about his actual age. If her young, vile husband is only 30, why are his friends so much older? When his companions from the West Moon Club are found brutally murdered, Miranda's search for the truth will draw her into a frightening dark world where her uncanny power may be the only means to save Archer's soul. Interesting. My Wicked Little Lies. One of my authors. There we go. My Wicked Little Lies. Four and a half stars. Two spies come together for a witty, adventurous, dangerous game of treachery and love. It's intelligent, sexy, and passionate, and pure reading pleasure from a mistress of the craft. To the world, Evelyn Hadley Atwater appears to be the perfect wife and hostess, but she often dreams about her daring days as the spy, Eve and her boss, the never-seen Sir. Her unusual flirtation with him kept Eve working for the crown until she wed Adrian, whom she truly loves. Then she suddenly is being blackmailed in performing one last mission. Adrian also has his secrets. They are thrust into a dangerous situation where interesting and exciting truths are revealed, and they each find out about each other's past. Interesting. A Lady Never Surrenders. Sabrina Jeffries. 4.5 stars. Jeffries pulls out all the stops for her Hellions of Halstead finale. With depth of character and emotional intensity and resolution to the ongoing mystery rolled into a steamy love story. The youngest member of the society, Shocking Sharps, Lady Celia, recalls the night her parents died in a tragic double murder. She has no desire to, but she must marry in 2 months or lose her inheritance. She enlists Bow Street runner Jackson Pinter to investigate her potential suitors. He's not keen on helping her find a husband, but he does want to uncover the truth about her parents' death. Celia's memories begin to return. She faces some grave danger, and Jackson is the one man she can trust with her life and her heart. A Scandalous Countess. 4.5 stars. Um, Known for her memorable, meticulous research stories, Beverly sets her latest Mallory world in the decadent Georgia era. Her year in mourning at the end, Georgia Countess of Maybury wants to enter society again and find a husband. But the rumors still abound about the death of her husband in a duel, as well as her unfaithfulness. She doesn't know that her father, paying a gambling debt, has offered Lord Darcy her hand in marriage and her large widow's portion. The lighting here is bad. Um, this isn't. Let me just take a quick look. I can't believe this isn't. What was the other page? Okay, no picture, but we'll just go through it. Gillian Hunter, The Duchess Diaries. 4.5 stars. The scandalous Bowcastle's return in another fast-paced, sexy, and hilarious love story that readers won't forget. Charlotte Bowcastle is thrilled that the Scarfield Academy graduation ball went without a hitch. She even dodged a dance with Gideon, the Duke of Winfield, about when she was fantasizes in her erotic writings. Then her diary goes missing and ends up in the Duke's hands. She sneaks into Gideon's bedroom to locate it and is compromised by the rogue. But even a wedding cannot stop the scandal when the diary is stolen again. Oh, good lord. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Um, Now, if you watched my Bridgertons, um, I did a whole thing on this lady. I did several videos on this lady. So please go check all those out. If I love a series and I love my sisters. And my sisters, Devil and Honori and Vane and Gabriel and Lucifer, all of them, and the twins, Amanda. So check them all out. Now it's time for the next generation to get into the act here. Um, The Capture of the Earl of Glenclay, 4.5 stars. The latest in the trilogy to trademark Lawrence's fast-paced romance, a spunky heroine and a very male hero, who can nevertheless be brought down by one small woman. Youngest sister Angelica is finally given the talisman that her family find their true love. Oh, from the I think it's Gabriel's wife. The Lady of the Veil. I think that's Gabriel's wife. I hope my audio is still here. Please let my audio be still here. Um, while wearing it for the first time, she meets Viscount Debenham, who promptly kidnaps her, taking to her home. He begs her to help him save his clan. His mother has stolen a jewel-encrusted goblet in retaliation for his father's obsession with Angelica's mother. She will not return the goblet unless her son ruins one of Celia's daughters. Angelica agrees to help Debenham since she realizes that he is her true love. I love my sisters. Where is Brenda Joyce? Now, have you watched any of my other videos? Brenda Joyce did Francesca Cahill detective series. and I liked and enjoyed that series. She was a female sleuth in 1900 New York, similar Victoria Thompson series, similar to Rice Bowen's Molly Murphy series, right along those lines. And but her publisher, she had another series, the De Warrens, as about a large rich family, and her publisher at the time preferred her doing the De Warrens. She abandoned Francesca, just left it, never went back to it, and that always that hurt. I wish she would have gone back to it. So, anyways, the seduction, Brenda Joyce. 4.5 stars. Joyce begins a new series set during the 1700s when the spirit of revolution was sweeping France. Merging depth of history with romance is nothing new for the multi-talented author, but she also brings in an intensity for political history. Dominic Paget has been a British spy in France for over a year when he is severely wounded and sent to recuperate in Julianne Greystone's home. Julianne sees what is happening in France as heroic. She believes Dominic is a French patriot, Charles Maurice. It is so easy for her to fall under a spell and Dominic to seduce her, but when Julianne learns the truth, she vows never to see him again. But when she is arrested for sedition, Julianne must trust Dominic to free her. Let's see. Um. Oh shit. What did I cross out? Lorraine Heath. She tempts the Duke. The middle there. 4 stars. Book 1 in the Lords of Pembroke trilogy is a powerful story of retribution and salvation. As boys Sebastian Easton and his brothers escape the ruthless uncle's plans for murder with the help of their friend Lady Wynne Jones. Now scarred and embittered, Sebastian returns from battle to claim his rightful place as the Duke of Keswick. He has not forgotten how Mary risked her reputation to save the brothers, but he isn't the boy she knew. Hard and vengeful, he appears to have forgotten the kiss they shared, and Mary's vow to meet him in the Abbey ruins upon return. Though betrothed, Mary cannot prevent herself from rebuilding her friendship with Sebastian, and the flames of desire igniting. Jennifer Haymore, accidental Duchess. 4.5 stars. Haymore's characters leap off the pages in her latest installment in the Donovan family saga. Olivia Donovan, Ethel Beauty, captivates Maxwell, the Marquis of Hazley. Max is so smitten that he agrees to an outrageous wager. Seduce Olivia or lose a fortune, but he soon learns that the seemingly fragile Olivia has a surprising inner strength and hidden desires that only a man of Max's sensitivity and passion can relieve. She tempts the Duke. Did I do that one? We did that. Princess Charming. I knew there was a reason I was going over here. Nicole Jordan, Princess Charming. 4 stars. Sexy characters, powerful love stories, and fast paced action are Jordan's forte. Book 1 in her new Legendary Lover series is a sensual twist of the classic Cinderella story. Miss Maura Coyle isn't interested in love or romance or balls or princes. She's grieving for her father and fighting to save her prize stallion, which her stepmother sold behind her back. Ashton Wilde, Marquis of Beaufort, is not interested in a wife or his sister crazy matchmaking theory about legendary lovers, but he is smitten with tart-tongued Maura and insists on helping her get her horse back. Secret in Her Kiss, Anna Randall. Four stars. Debut author Randall has taken the Regency romance to a new level in an exciting, different setting that will have readers cheering. There's adventure, sexual tension, and thrills as daring duo traverse the alleys and places of the Ottoman Empire. Randall demonstrates she has what it takes to be a star. Raised in the East, naturalist Mary Sinclair has been working as a spy for the British and helping the Greeks in their fight for independence. After an attempt on her life, she's set to retire, but the British need information only she can obtain about Major Bennett. See what happens there. And why did don't know. Lauren Willig, The Garden of Intrigue. 4.5 stars. Willig's delights time and again with clever, witty, intelligent, and thoughtful Pink Carnation series. The ninth in the installment retains all of the freshness and vitality of the first. Eloise and Colin are withstanding the invasion of American film crew when a scrap of bad poetry in her pile of pink carnation research catches Eloise's eye. Hovering on the edges in Napoleon's court is American Emma Delagrave, close friend of both Jane Woolston and Napoleon's daughter Hortense. When she's invited by the emperor to write a masque for a weekend party in the country, Emma reluctantly agrees to work with poet August Whitby. She is unaware that the foppish poet has finagled an invitation to the party in order to collect information on new military device. As they work together, he reveals the depth beneath his dilettante facade, and she displays the cleverness behind her scattered-brained act. They might just make beautiful poetry together. And um by the King's Design. Christine Trent. In the tradition of Rosalind Laker, Trent penned stories that illustrate the role women played in the world of art and commerce. She draws readers into the life of a 19th century interior designer with an enticing backdrop of love story between a strong woman and a man who is her equal. Since her father's death, Annabelle Sterling has run the family draper shop along with her wastrel brother. When her shop is destroyed by competitors, Bella goes to London seeking and redress. There she meets the Prince Regent who hires her to provide the fabrics for his planned royal pavilion. She also meets cabinet maker Putnam Boyce. The attraction is instant, but Bella maintains a distance, fearing marriage would complicate her work. When her brother becomes intimately involved in a plot to kidnap Prinny, Bella is caught between concern for him, a growing love for Putney, and her allegiance to the prince. See what happens there. 20. Okay. Fingers crossed the sound is still here. Let's see. Kathy Golick. Gohlke. What did I say? Oh, there it is. Promise me this. Four and a half stars. This grabs the reader from the first sentence. The characters are well defined. One of them is based on actual passenger on the Titanic who did not survive. Golick respects the ship and the victims, giving them a voice as their story unfolds. Readers will come away with a fresh understanding of that horrible day. Michael Dunnigan was not supposed to be on the Titanic, but he stowed away. When a passenger, Owen Allen, discovers him, a strong friendship forms. When they hit the iceberg, Owen forces a promise from Michael that he will take care of Owen's younger sister back in England. When Annie Allen learns of her brother's death, she feels completely alone. The last thing she wants is a friendship with a stranger. But as months and many letters go by, she changes her mind. When he finally has the funds to bring Annie to America, World War One causes them to lose contact, but he's determined to find the woman he loves. Aw. Lynette Eason, When the Smoke Clears. 4.5 stars. Eason is quickly making a name for herself with tout suspenseful fiction. The mystery will keep the reader guessing until the end, and as soon as one puzzle is resolved, a cliffhanger will keep you anxiously awaiting the next installment. Oh, it ends on a cliffhanger. Alexia Allen escaped a horrible childhood right after high school graduation and is thrived as a firefighter. When her equipment fails, Alexia suspects foul play, but she has to wait for the conclusion of her superiors. She decides to return home to a childhood home that her mother is in the hospital. Shortly after Alexa's arrival, bad things begin to occur. Murders, attempted kidnapping, a shooting, and she wonders who is after her and why. With the help of Hunter, a handsome police detective, she begins to tie the events to something in Alexa's past, something that an unknown person does not want to reveal. Charlotte Hubbard, Summer of Secrets. Four stars. Hubbard begins a new Amish series, Seasons of Heart, with lovable characters who are learning that God has more in store for them than they realize. Rachel Lance is looking forward to her upcoming marriage to handsome Micah Brennan, the local carpenter. When an outsider arrives, Rachel's world is turned upside down. She cannot believe this English woman is her sister, and when she catches Micah seeking out this woman, Rachel fears her happiness is over. Oh, Lisa Wingate, Blue Moon Bay. Four stars. Wingate's latest is sweet, quirky, and touching. The novel's journey is a little frustrating as Heather is kept in the dark about many things, but as events unfold, it isn't a much of an issue. The author's ability to place the reader in the midst of a small town and the residents make her book stand out above others in this genre. Heather Hampton's future as an architectural designer hinges on her ability to get her mother and uncles to agree on the sale of their family land in Moses, Texas. When her mother seems to be stepping back from the deal, Heather has no choice but to return to her childhood home to see what is going on. Heather doesn't count on opposition to her project from the handsome guy who never knew she existed in high school. Her job is important, but what about family and the past? Family is important. So. Anne Gebhardt, very, very famous. Um, Words spoken true. Four stars. Gephardt's ability to transport readers into the world of newspaper writing in 1850s is amazing. Her latest conveys the power of the written word, family secrets, and the knowledge that choices we want to make are not always the ones that happen in the end. Adrienne Darcy could not remember a time when she was not in her father's newspaper office, the Tribune. It seems she was born with ink stains on her fingers. Blake Garrett works for the town's other newspaper, The Herald, and believes that women don't belong in his world of hard-edge writing. Adrian is attracted to Blake, but knows he is the enemy, and she is engaged to someone who has saved the paper. When women of the night are being murdered, Adrian and Blake will need to work together to solve the crime. Regina Jennings. 60 Acres and a Bride. Four stars. Jennings' characters are well defined and thoughtfully planned out. Her historical details are rich and hearty without being over the top. Rosa Gardner has returned to Texas as a widow. Her mother in law is with her not by choice but for survival. Upon returning, she has found her renters gone and the county demanding money she doesn't have for back taxes. Weston Garner is trying to move on from his lost love. He doesn't want to get involved with another woman. He just wants to take care of his family and the ranch. His world is turned upside down when he meets his cousin's widow. Will Rosa and Weston solve both of their problems with a marriage of convenience? Ranger's Trail. Never figured out how to fix the lighting. Still worried about the audio. 4 stars. This is the fourth book in the Texas Trail series about the Morgan family, but it can be read as a standalone book. Buck is a strong lead with a powerful motivation, bringing peace to this small town where his family is torn. Buck Morgan is part of the Texas Rangers and arrives in Mason County to control the brutal fighting between the cattle ranchers and a group of German vigilantes. The vigilantes are suspected of murdering Leda Derrick's husband, who was a cattle rancher. Can Buck bring peace to this town? Lucy Ferris, The Lost Daughters. This one. 4.5 stars. Ferris' latest is a deeply emotional book with a lyrical writing. It's a modern story with deep underlays, making it more meaningful than just a light read. The characters, deeply flawed but very human, draw you in. They're making choices blindly since they never can see the future clearly, and then they must live with the results as they come. Brooke O'Connor is happily married with a beautiful daughter and a loving husband, but she refuses to have another child. Sean can't understand why. Brooke has a secret that could change her and her family's lives. One she hopes never to have to tell her husband, but when her high school love returns and wants to reestablish a relationship, she is forced to confront her past. Uh, Catherine Mackenzie. Spin. 4.5 stars. If Bridget Jones' Diary and High Fidelity had a literary baby, the result would be Spin. A funny heroine and plentiful music references make this book a standout. Mackenzie's tale of girls gone wild and gone to rehab is ripped straight from the latest tabloid headlines. When Kate Sanford screws up the job opportunity of a lifetime by showing up at the interview still drunk after a night of partying, she thinks all is lost. Then a gossip magazine offers Kate an undercover assignment: enter rehab to spy on a popular actress. If Kate gets the dirt, she'll get the job she wanted at the music magazine. Kate becomes friends with the actress she's supposed to betray and begins to realize that maybe she really needed to be in rehab herself. See what happens there. The art. Yes, ma'am. The art of hearing heartbeats. Come here. You want to read too? You want to read? The art. It's hard with white covers. There we go. What do you think? Think you want to read it? Jan Philip Sendeker. 4.5 stars. This international bestseller is set in Burma, now called Myanmar, a very isolated country where, in many ways, the 20th century has scarcely begun, let alone the 21st. The strong story shows how opposite worlds can brush and then connect through universal feelings and emotions. Julia Wynn's father, who was Burmese by birth, disappeared on a trip to Thailand. Years later, Julie finds an old love letter to him from Burma and goes there to look for him. She meets a man named Yuba who knew her father and the secrets he kept. Julia learns more than she ever expected about her father's life, her own life, and life itself. Um, oh, there it is. Hmm. Dead of Winter. Wolf, 4.5 stars. Edwin Wolf. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Dead of Winter, Brian Moreland. I'm sorry. Wrong thing. 4.5 stars. This gripping tale is well researched and unfolds in a manner that will chill you to the bone. The multi-dimensional characters are revealed one facet at a time, and you won't like all you see. Native, tribal, and Catholic beliefs are infused into the story. Inspector Tom Hatcher comes from Montreal, where when he is captured the Canary Cannibal, a man who murdered prostitutes and ate their flesh. Tom's now at Fort Pendleton in the Ontario wilderness, where he has been asked to investigate a series of murders. An inhuman beast is attacking the settlers, spreading a horrid plague that turns the settlers into cannibals. Father Xavier is an exorcist who is called upon to cast out the demon possessing the Canary Cannibal. Soon he is called to the fort to exorcise demons there. When the priest arrives, he works with Hatcher to devise a plan to keep the monsters at bay. But who will protect them? See what happens there. And Kyle Chias, Nameless. Right there. This one. Four and a half stars. Nameless is a unique debut of a wondrous proportion, a quirky and somewhat darkly hilarious story of good and evil, darkness and light, angels and demons. You'll be dazzled with Chias's inimitable prose. His characters will leap off the pages if you let them. Here's hoping we'll be hearing more from him and his magical way with words soon. A fallen angel awaits his eternal damnation and tries to change his fate by possessing a human and doing good deeds. He is a nameless, spending his time in New York City, watching and waiting. He is enchanted by a human called Arak. On his way to personal destruction, saving his life by possessing his body, lives out fantasy after fantasy, becoming a rock star, working as a psychiatrist with a successful practice, falling in love with a beautiful journalist. The rest of Nameless are tired of waiting and ready for war. Now Auric can join their ranks and enter the Null at last, or continue his current path, hoping for salvation. Okay. Um, Jennifer Barnes. Every other day. 4.5 stars. Readers will devour this fantastic new series starter. Loner heroine Callie is smart, reliable, relatable, and quippy, while the supporting characters give the story a Breakfast Club feel rare for a paranormal read. With her signature style, Barnes brings all her characters to life in stunning detail. In a world where the paranormal is normal, Kaylee is different. Every other day, she's a normal teenage girl, but on alternate days, she's a demon hunter with primal instincts and incredible healing powers. When Kaylee seeks the mark of a soul sucking chupacabra on her classmate Bethany, Kale knows that if she can lure the succubus into her body, she may survive what Bethany can't. The selfish act plunges Kaylee, Bethany, and the class slut Skylar into the center of a conspiracy. Jennifer Armentrout. Obsidian. Yeah, Obsidian. 4.5 stars. The beginning of Almond Trout's new Lux series is a thrilling ride from start to finish. A cross between Roswell and Dawson's Creek, this series is guaranteed to hold your attention and have you begging for more. When Katie Schwartz's mother moves to West Virginia, she's not happy, convinced that all she will have to entertain her are thick Southern accents and a less than stellar internet connection. She does not count on odd twins next door befriending the sweet girl. Dee is easy, but her brother Damon is rude, arrogant, and impossible. And unfortunately for Kate, she turns by accident and frustrated by him. As she learns the twins' secrets, she's besieged by people who would soon use her to get to them. Not good. Last man standing. Cindy Gerard. 4.5 stars. Gerard brings her thrilling, pulse pounding Black Ops series to an explosive end as Operative Joe Green races off an ill fated solo mission to discover the truth about Brian Tompkins' death, which has been an open wound for BOI throughout the series. Time after time, Gerard has proven that she is a true master of romantic suspense. Cryptic clues lead Joe Green to suspect there was more to the disastrous mission where Brian died, and he becomes obsessed with finding the truth, so much so that he distances himself from the Black Ops and breaks up with his lover Brian's sister Stephanie Tompkins. Stephanie is hurt and angry, but when Joe is arrested Sierra Leone for the murder of a priest while Black Ops is deep undercover and out of touch, Stephanie realizes she's the only one that can reach him and save him. Save him! Sala, Sharon Sala, next of kin. 4 stars. Next of Kin is a quick read with vivid descriptions and engaging characters. Sala makes it very easy to invest in these characters and their actions. Although Beth is in mortal danger, she never makes herself out to be a damsel in distress and comes across as a determined, strong woman. While staying at a friend's house, Beth Venable witnesses a murder which thrusts her into a political investigation. When the murderer mistakes Beth's friend for the witness and kills her, the FBI moves Beth to a safe house, which unfortunately is not beyond the reach of the killer. Beth must run to keep herself safe, and the safest place she can think of is hidden away with distant family and an old love. Beth must trust the people from her past, especially a former flame, Ryle Walker, to keep her safe. See what happens there. Shiloh Walker, if you see her. Oh, not If You See Her. The Departed. Sorry. The Departed. Um, let's see if I got the right book here. Oh, the picture is for If You See Her, but well, that's just great. I didn't put it together. All right. So the review. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think they're both in here. Wait a second. I think she's in here twice. That's what it is. She's in here twice. So wait a second. Let me go back and look. Oh, here. If You See Her. Okay. Shiloh Walker. If You See Her. Okay. If You See Her, 4.5 stars. The second installment of the Ash trilogy maintains the tout thrill quotient while giving readers a beautiful romance at the same time. Walker reduces the number of killers by the end of the part 2, but the real evil is still completely shrouded, and readers will be clamoring for the finale. When we last saw Hope Carson, she was being accused of a crime she didn't commit and forcibly drugged to calm psychosis she didn't have. No one believes her innocence except Rennie Jennings, the DA who initially brought the charges against her. He is wildly attracted to Hope, but even so, the whole setup doesn't smell right. Hope is staying with her friend Law after finally escaping an abusive marriage that almost destroyed her. She is determined not to let fear rule her again, but that proves difficult when someone is seen in the woods behind Lowe's house with a gun, and Hope thinks the driver in the car that keeps following her looks a lot like her ex. Okay. Before She Dies, Mary Burton. Four stars. Burton delivers another page turner that will keep readers up well past midnight. Strong, reliable characters like Charlotte don't come around very often, and now she has a story all her own. A serial killer has appointed himself judge, jury, and executioner of the witches who attempt and corrupt with their evil. He holds them underwater to purify them of their sins and stakes them to the ground, marking them so all will know what they were. Uh, okay. Ah, oh, me, Lisa Gardner. 4.5 stars. Gardner's complex, twisty plot keeps readers guessing as she continues the evolution of Boston detective Dee Dee Warren. New mother Dee Dee must struggle work and the demands of her infant son while trying to unravel a puzzling case. When it comes to layered drama and suspense encased in a Byzantine plotlines, no one does it better. Just back from maternity leave from the birth of her son, Jack, Dee Dee meets Charlie Grant on a murder scene. Charlie wants Dee Dee to investigate her murder, which she expects will happen in 4 days. Two of her best friends were murdered on January 21st, 1 year apart, and the date just days away. Charlie expects to be Dee Dee is busy on another case, but checks out Charlie's story and finds it to be true. Check that out. The Confession. Charles Todd. 4.5 stars. Todd's masterful storytelling shine in the latest Ian Rutledge case. The puzzle here is intricate, but the author keeps a firm hold on the twisty narrative. As always, the aftermath of the war figures prominently, but Todd keeps things fresh by examining the war's repercussions. When a dying man arrives in Scotland Yard to confess to a murder in order to clear his conscience, he is reluctant to give Rutledge any details beyond his name, the name of the victim, and the fact that he's from Essex. When the man is shot to death, Rutledge attempts to locate his home, only to discover the victim isn't who he claimed he was, and that the villagers with their own secrets are not keen on him helping him sort out fact from fiction. Um, Oath of Office. Michael Palmer, 4.5 stars. Palmer is one of the best in the business when it comes to retching up every degree of tension before snapping the band and sending readers flying through vortex, murder, greed, and medical technology mysteries. When Dr. John Meacham seems to snap and calmly blasts away at his partner's staff and patients before turning the gun on himself, it draws Dr. Lou welcome to town where he lived. Lou counseled Meacham after his medical license was revoked for addiction and recommended that his license be restored. As Lou digs further into the incident, a series of tragedies unfold, and the evidence points to an unfathomable conspiracy that leads straight to the Oval Office. Interesting. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, only to deceive, or something like that. I didn't get that one. Let me see here. That one. And on a lighter note, we need to check this one out. Buried in a Book. 4.5 stars. The first in a new series is a snappy, funny, and charming, with delightful characters and a cozy plot, all wrapped up in a package of publishing agency slapped down in the middle of a small town and tinged with new age aura. After losing her newspaper job at 45 with a son entering college and a house with a steep mortgage, single mother Lila Wilkins will take anything to get by. She accepts an internship at a novel idea, a literary agency in North Carolina. Being paid to read seems perfect, and she hopes to become an agent. I would love to get paid to read. Somebody pay me to read. I will read. Send me your book. I'll read it for free. Okay, her coworkers are a little odd, but her boss is distant, and there are lots of query letters to get through. But the hardest thing has to be aspiring author who drops dead in the agency's waiting room on her first day. Soon Lila is deep in investigation with the help of sexy cop, her delinquent son, and spacey mom. She better find the answers before she's the next victim. Um, why did I get this one? The that's what I did. I picked up the wrong book. I picked up the wrong book. The book in the magazine is Heart of a Killer, David Rosenfeld. And when I picked this book up, it must have been the book next to it, and I picked the wrong book. Holy cow. So let's just read this one. Retired lawyer Andy Carpenter's calling has always been running the Tara Foundation. The dog rescue organization places hundreds of dogs in new homes every year. It's added up so many dogs and new owners that Andy can't even do the math. But there's one dog, one owner Andy will always remember. About a year ago, Rachel Morehouse came to the foundation looking for a companion. In her 60s and recently widowed, Rachel had wanted a senior dog that also needed someone. Andy took a liking to her, Rachel took a liking to Lion, an older Chow Chow, and the rest is history. That is until Rachel calls Andy begging for a favor. If Rachel dies, will Andy take care of Lion if her stepson Tony cannot? Andy agrees, no questions asked, and promptly forgets about it until he receives a call from Rachel's estate to attend the reading of her will. There he meets Tony, who is promptly arrested for his stepmother's murder, and Tony wants Andy to prove his innocence. Andy has continued to learn more about the woman he so greatly admired and the business she ran, and holy chow. But was this woman impressive? The woman who killed her deserves to be held accountable, and if Tony is to believe, the killer is still out there. Well, that was good for a mistake. It was still good. And I hope my audio is still here. Please, audio, still be here. File M for murder. Cozies. A beat up cozy. 4 stars. This charming classic cozy features fall on Southern charm. Well plotted and evenly paced with fairly laid out clues for those who like to solve along with the sleuths. Charlie and Diesel, a delightful detective team, and the idea of a male amateur sleuth librarian with a cat is refreshing. Athena College librarian Charlie Harris and his cat Diesel take an instant dislike to the college new writer-in-residence Connor Lawton, whose rude nature and abusive tongue don't sit well with the most people he encounters. Charlie's dislike turns to concern when his daughter Laura, subbing at the college, reveals a previous relationship with Lawton, a relationship the playwright would like to resume. When Laura discovers Lawton's dead body soon after they have a very public spat, Charlie and Diesel have to work to uncover what really happened. If you watched my channel last year, and if you have not watched my channel last year, please go back and watch my channel. I did my comfort reads during Christmas last year. And I can't do them this year because I did them last year, or I'd be doing them again because I did them every year. And I want to be able to read new books for this channel. So I'm not reading my comfort books this year, although I would like to. This time of year is always hard. Some difficult, a lot of family members have passed away. So my comfort books, Janet Ivanovich, and this author are my 2 comfort reads for the holidays. I did all 30 books of Janet Ivanovich last year, ending with Dirty 30 on New Year's Eve. So please go check all those out. 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 score, high 5, hot 6, etc. Stephanie is a bounty hunter. Inept. We have always thought that Janet could have made her better at her job and still be funny, but Janet chose to do this other thing. But we don't care. We like Stephanie, we like Ranger, we like Joe. This other series, there are 60 books. I did the entire series last year, even the in-between, even the novelites, so please check all those out. And we just did her newest book in September, and I am looking forward to her next book in February. She used to do 6 books a year, 3 Nora and 4 JD. Now we only get the 3 Nora and 2 JDs. We used to get the 3 Noras, 2 JD books, and 2 JD novelites. We don't get the novelites anymore. We just get the books. And we're happy for the books. We get 2 books a year. And Celebrity in Death. If you have not checked out all my videos on these books, please do. I talk extensively. I don't tell you the whodunit, but I will spoil everything else about Eve, lieutenant with the New York City Police Security Department. Feeney was her old mentor. He's now the captain of EDD. Rourke is her husband. Peabody is her partner. McNabb is Peabody's partner in life, and he's also a detective in the electronics division under Feeney. Rourke is her husband. Mira is the department shrink. Whitney is her boss. Trueheart and Baxter and Renicky and Mavis Freestone, her best friend. Leonardo, her husband. Their kids. Nadine. Trina. Whoever panics when a hairdresser comes into the room, it's Eve Dallas. Absolute goes in an absolute state of panic. I love my Eve Dallas, and I could talk about these characters forever. So please go check out all 60. I did them in order. It got 4.5 stars. Superstar Rob takes Eve and an on a thorough look through the looking glass ride as they meet their actor counterparts in the movie based on one of Eve's most famous cases. The juxtaposition amusing and deadly as murder strikes at a swanky party. One of this series' best elements is the gradual development of characters punctuated with unexpected payoffs. Reporter Nadine First wrote a book about the infamous Cove cloning case, and now in production, Eve, Rourke, Peabody, and the rest of the police crew have been invited to attend a party at the director's luxury building to celebrate and meet the actors. The celebrity-packed bash takes a nasty turn when the actress playing Peabody turns up murdered on the roof. Eve and crew must sort out motive and try to find out who killed the fake Peabody. And we also get a proposal. Well, not a proposal. But do you want me to propose? And when we're ready, you want me to propose when we're ready. It's such a cute scene with McNabb and Peabody. It is. I just love these books. They're mine forever. And I have the early ones. The early ones. Now, recently, about several years ago, and you can check with her, the Innsborough Inn. It's online, and you can get some of the earlier editions in hardcover now. They released anniversary ones for the first 2 or 3 or 4, but back then they came directly to mass market. And if you wanted the large prints came in hardcover. But the large prints, if you do the audiobooks and the large print, you'll discover that the large prints are missing paragraphs. When she reissued the mass markets, she expanded some of it. So I've got some of the books, I've got hardcover, mass market, and audiobooks. Because I was doing a lot of data entering way back when, and I would listen to the audiobooks for 24 hours a day. So that is that. I think those are all the mysteries. So let me write this down. I should have done this a long time ago. Contemporary romance, Secrets of the Lost Summer. Holla niggers. Four and a half stars. Neggers captures readers' attention with her unusual flair and brilliance and gives us a romance, a mystery, and a lesson in history. She also presents breathtaking views of a real New England past and present, characters who stay with us long after we close the book, and more than one romance. Olivia Forrest decides to act on her dream of turning her historic home in Knightsbridge into a destination getaway. With her artistic expertise and hard work, she's hoping to succeed. Her demons, however, make her think twice about herself. She also has an absent neighbor and his rundown eyesore of property to deal with. Dylan McAfee finds out that he owns a house he never knew about, and upon inspection discovers it falling apart around his head. The more he looks into why his father left it to him, the more questions he has. Then there's the sexy neighbor, Olivia. Olivia and Dylan sent off on a treasure hunt that may not end well, but they're determined to get the distance, and that also means figuring out their feelings for each other. Last Chance Beauty Queen. 4.5 stars. Get ready for a story to remember when Ramsey spins the spirited contemporary tale. If y'all don't enchant you, the fast-paced, easy read. The third installment in the Last Chance series is filled with characters that'll define eccentric, off-the-wall, and bonkers, but most of all, they're enchantingly funny and heartwarmingly charming. Former watermelon queen Caroline Rocky Rhodes is on an impossible mission under direction from her boss. It seems an English lord wants to build a factory in her unusual hometown of Last Chance, South Carolina. Hugh DeBarcy, Baron of Woolham, has come to the States to seek his own fortune and build a textile factory. The more he learns, the more it looks like Last Chance is his own last chance to break with tradition of its heritage and not marry for money. But then he meets Hope. Um, Kathy Lynch. Tempted again. Sharing the strawberry cover. 4 stars. This delightful contemporary romance will warm up a cold winter's day. The characters that fill these pages are all memorable. The romance is touching and realistic, and the love scenes are hot. Failed marriage and bad economy brings Marissa Bennett home to Hopeful, Ohio for a job in the local library. The last thing she expects when she arrives is to see her first lover. Even worse, he doesn't recognize her. Connor Doyle fled to Hopeful to lick his wounds after being a cop in Chicago. As a sheriff in this bucolic town, he's coping with his dark past. The last thing he needs is a sexy librarian that he knew in the biblical sense. But that's just what he's got. Thrown together for a community project, these two lovers realize that the attraction from the past is still there, but they have baggage with them now. Can they get past it? We shall see. Cindy Proctor King, where she belongs. Four stars. Proctor King has written a home for all of us. Destiny falls in the pace that holds your first love, your first triumph. That's where you lost a person who cared about you. Jess is a character who women will identify with, having to forget a past that is beyond difficult to do. Coming to terms with loss while attempting to understand that a parent is also a person who needs their own life and love is a tough road. Jess left Destiny Falls for the big city of Toronto and became a world traveler with her work. Now she is home and about to face a mother with a broken heart. Jess never got along with her stepfather, Peter, and didn't even go to his funeral, but now her mother wants to see her. Adam Wright shows up at the airport. In addition to the past relationship, Jess now has to deal with the attraction she still feels for him. See what happens then. Sweet stuff, Donna Kaufman. All those cakes, all those calories. Only 3 stars. This second Cupcake Club book tries a little too hard to be sweet and ends up being a little preachy about self-worth and risking your heart in order to find love. Riley Brown, food stylist for Food Magazine, leaves Chicago for Costa, Georgia after being brutally betrayed by her fiancé. Riley lives on a houseboat with her massive dog and avoids men while she nurses her self-doubt. She has found support in the Cupcake Club, a great group of friends who get together to bake. When a famous and handsome author leases a house on the island to work on his next book, he and Riley connect. See if romance is ready for them. Um, one. Lara, Adrian, Darker After Midnight. 4.5 stars. For the stunning conclusion of her long-running Midnight series, Adrian pulls out all the stops as she makes the move to hardcover. After 10 edgy and passionate books, the final confrontation between the Order and Dragos is at hand. Over the course of the terrific series, breed-weary Sterling Chase has been on a downward spiral as he battles against bloodlust. For this final battle, Adrian ensures readers are taken on a redemptive journey filled with passion, treachery, and danger. After one of Drago's deadly plots threatens to expose the Order and make its members the object of a police hunt, Chase decides to sacrifice himself. After all, it's partially his fault. He tried to kill Dragos and failed. Yet that assassination attempt led him to discover Tava Fairchild, assistant to one of Drago's Centurial minions. When Chase escapes and captures Tava, he realizes there's something different about her. The truth about Tava will change everything and add more urgency to their quest. See what happens. Kelsey Kroll, Lothar. How 4.5 stars. How do you make the crazy, arrogant, and ruthless arch-villain of a series a hero? With great difficulty. Yet Cole pulls it off splendidly in her latest Immortals After Dark offering. It helps that most of the Immortal lore are none too sane and all pretty bloodthirsty. Yet Lothar, the enemy of old, is a cut above. While keeping Lothar hardcore personally intact, Cole manages to find an unusual heroine for himself. Since his mother's murder a millennium ago, Lothar has been striving toward his endgame of ruling both Horde and Dark of vampires. To do this, Lokar needs his bride. There is an inconvenient problem. Although Lothar believes his mate is Sora the Soul Reaper, she is trapped inside the body of human Elizabeth Pierce. Despite being young and from remote Appalachia, Elizabeth is no pushover. Although she couldn't keep Sarah from killing her while in her body, Elizabeth won't cede control, not even when a deadly and handsome vampire promises to eliminate her soul. Something About Witches, Joey Hill. 4.5 stars. Hill writes men to die for, typically alpha males. They love deeply and do not let anything or anyone get in their way. Witches and sorcerers abound in the first entry of the Arcane Shot series. Ruby Knight Divine has settled into her role as the owner of Arcane Shot, a gun store. It's a far cry from Witches R Us, but it's better suited to the dark side of her life that's taken over the past 3 years. Now Derek Stormwind is back in her life, but she exiled him without explanation. But he's recruiting her to help fend off some nasty creatures from the underworld. Ruby is a skilled trainer of witches and Derek is a guardian, determined to find out why she forced him out 3 years earlier. Ruby keeps a deception potion active so that neither Derek nor her friends can uncover the reason behind the darkness that lives in her. See what happens there. King of Darkness, Elizabeth Stab, 4.5 stars. Action-packed and sexually charged, this book will draw you in from the opening scene. Vampires and wizards collide in well-drawn battles where humans are occasional casualties. No one is more shocked than Isabel when Thad claims she is his mate, so she runs. When he catches up with her, he reveals they have matchmaking scars and are destined to unlock powers together. Powers he's not yet experienced, which are imperatives for him to possess if he is to reach his potential as king. She's not quite a believer until they in confrontation with wizards, and she unleashes her prowess. Unsettled after the big fight, Izzy goes out for a walk and strays too far. See what happens there. Kiss of the Vampire, Cynthia Garner, 4 stars. Her spin on the paranormal is quite different, as parasitic interdimensional entities periodically cross a rift and inhabit human beings, causing them to become one of a variety of supernatural species. Murder ratchets up the tension between races, and Garner provides both a cool premise and interesting characters. It is 2 years until the return of the comet that will signal the next influx of incorporeal beings to Earth. Although extra-dimensionals have been granted legal protection, things are tense. A series of violent murders of vampires is not helping. Half human, half demon Nix de la Fuente is liaison as part of the investigation of the Council of Prenaturals. Keeping control of her demon half is a constant battle for Nix, one that will not help by the return of her ex-lover, Special Agent Vampire Tobias. Uh, let's see. Devil Named Desire, 3 stars. The second in the Devil's Bargain series is a great story of good and evil, angels and imps, and the power of love. Though the heroic hero is truly heroic, the villain deserving of his comeuppance, there's still a desire to see him redeemed. Saved from committing suicide by the devil who calls himself Sammy, Hope Henderson is soon coerced into a deal with the man himself, where Hope will learn the location of the younger sister whom she hasn't seen in 2 years. Enter Archangel Gabriel, ready to protect Hope from the darkness he sees following her, not realizing that is Sammy's real plan to get Gabriel to fall in love with her. Unfortunately for Sammy, he tends to forget the one is truly in control, and all his plans are derailed when his son Kane is kidnapped and life is threatened. See what happens there. Uh, on your bust. Midnight Enchantment. It only got 3 stars, but it's been sitting here staring me in the face, and I have her book, so I had to do it. Bath's latest dark magic novel is an intriguing look at right and wrong, life and death. However, it mostly focuses on the pieces Elizabeth holds, making it hard to really pull the reader into the story overall. Elizabeth holds the pieces that keep up the walls around the Fae. Niall believes she is selfish for holding them and not letting the Fae go free. But it's not as simple as that. Elizabeth is trying desperately to save someone who means the world to her. As Niall gets to know her, he begins to understand the compassion she hides under a tough exterior. Now, if you haven't watched my video on this woman, please go back and watch this video on this woman. It airs October 26th. So it aired a couple of weeks ago. If it was not for this woman, vampires today would not exist. I totally absolutely believe that this woman is responsible for setting the stage for all future writers. Without her, it never would have happened. And I talk about this extensively in the video about her. So please go check out Anne Rice. Now, in later years, she's not as brilliant. She tried to cross over into werewolves, and it was not a successful crossover. But do check out the interview with the vampire and the vampire Lestat and a few of the others. She does go off hinge towards the end there, but please go check out my video. So this is the werewolf side, the wolf gift. It only got 3 stars. Rice's trend of writing compelling, real characters who are easily relatable continues in this new series starter. Reuben is a naive, privileged man, but Rice manages to make the reader not hold that against him. Laura and Felix are the most compelling characters, each with a depth that carries much of the novel. Drawbacks are rather see-through plot and various Rice tropes that will be apparent to frequent readers of her novels. In a seemingly freak attack during a romantic encounter, Reuben is bitten by a beast he never saw, so dark and quick that he was lucky to survive, let alone to identify the type of animal that bit him. A few weeks after the attack, Reuben begins to have disturbing symptoms and side effects, leaving him to wonder what type of man he's turning into and what type of beast he carries. And um this was also a really good series. I talked about this at one point too. She starts off good. If you I did a YouTube video on these books. She's always going off. Always going off. Regardless of the time of day, she goes off every single video. So let's just let her ring out. Some She doesn't tell time anymore. Hasn't told time in years. Rarely rings 12. Most of the time it is 8. So, oh, we got lucky she got short. If you haven't seen my video on Casey Daniels, please check her out. She is a similar author to this one. But didn't Casey Daniels character works in a cemetery, and the people buried in the cemetery, famous people like Alf Capone, and other gangsters and other people. He asks her to solve their murder to find out what happened to them. And it runs straight now, and I love the Casey Daniels series. It's really good. This series is a similar series where she sees the dead and speaks to the dead, or speaks to ghosts and spirits and helps solve their murder mystery. And she goes along good, and then she goes off in left field. I mean, yonder left field. I mean, over the bridge and through the woods to another planet left field. With this devil and Lucifer and Archangel and all. It just. So the ending of the series is. Ugh, but the beginning of the series is good. And this is the beginning of the series. This is the third book. All the books are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers are in the title. So third grade dead ahead, 4.5 stars. It's been self-induced insomnia for P.I. Grim Reaper Charlie Davison ever since she stopped Satan's sexy son Rias Farrell from sacrificing himself by binding him to his corporal body. Jones kicks off the third chapter in her offbeat and snarky supernatural series, with her heroine clearly not at the top of her game, leading to some wacky adventure. An extremely pissed off and prison-bound Rias keeps popping up in Charlie's dream. She's drinking copious amounts of coffee to stay awake. The lack of sleep is clouding Charlie's judgment, so when she accepts a missing persons case, she is not firing on all thrusters. Things get even more complicated when Rias carjacks Charlie after he escapes from prison. Rias claims that he's the man he went to prison for killing is in fact alive. And in order to bring the bad guys to justice, Charlie must deal with an ego-driven doctor, motorcycle gang, and a deadly killer. So in the beginning, like I said, in the beginning, these books are good, but towards the end, they go off a cliff you never saw coming. And our last, Yasmin Gallon, Shaded Vision, 4.5 stars. The pressure intensifies in this next chapter of mega-talented Gallon's high stakes, high energy Otherworld series. Juggling the main three protagonist viewpoints for different books is not easy, yet Gallon does it very nicely. Although Camille is still recovering from a vivacious sexual assault, there is joy in the Ego household as their dear friend Finnish house Bright Arises prepares for her wedding to Leprechaun Bruce, sadly realizing reality intrudes when a bomb explodes at Soup Community Center. Though her duties as Death Maiden, Delilah learns some horrifying facts. Rogue coyote shifters have joined forces with several evil sorcerers, working to bring forth one of Shadowwing's most fearful generals. With the enemy one step ahead of them, Delilah, her sisters, and their lovers and friends must build a new alliance and help before the enemy does. Okay? And we have a few Harley Quinns. Linda Ford, the cowboy father. Four stars by Linda Ford, Alberta, Canada, 1933. A bout of severe influenza has cost the legal Morgan the ability to have children. Even so, she's determined to enjoy the life God has in for store still has in store for her. When the chance to earn some money as a tutor to a bedridden little girl presents herself, Louisa accepts it as a blessing, yet a mockery of her lost dreams of having her own child. As she finds herself falling for Ellie's father, Emmett Hamilton, she struggles to continue to trust God, knowing Emmett wants what she can never give him, more children. The second story, featuring the Morgan sisters, is a wonderfully warm-hearted, emotional lesson in windows opening when doors are closed. And Christopher. Sinful Seduction. I'm gonna do both of these books. Touching and fiery, this novel is at times predictable, but the overwhelming emotion will stay with readers long after they finish reading. It got 4 stars. Lawrence, ex-fiance, was supposedly killed in Afghanistan, and though she grieves for him, she can't get his fraternal twin, Alessandro Davies, out of her mind. She drives to his house late at night in the midst of a raging storm to confront her feelings once and for all. What she finds is a man swallowing in guilt over the loss of his brother and the unidentifiable attraction he feels for Skylar. Brenda Jackson. If you did not see my Black Authors video, please go check that out. She is prominently featured. Brenda Jackson. Four stars. Jackson's love scenes are hot and steamy, and her storyline believable enough to make readers beg for more. Nicole Cartwright and Jonas Steele shared a passionate kiss almost 2 years ago, a kiss neither of them have been able to forget. Jonas is one of the sexy Steele brothers known for his hit and quit it philosophy when it comes to women. Nicole is a dynamite photographer still holding on to the hope that she will find the perfect man. Will they match up together? And Pamela Yates. 3 stars. Escape to Paradise. Ye's story is refreshing, atypical, but the main characters lack depth. Claudia Jeffries is under investigation due to the shady financial practices of her ex-husband. Needing to escape the hounding media, she boards a plane destined for Cabo San Lucas. On her way, she meets sexy and swarthy Santiago. Will they find love? I don't think there's anything. Nope. And that's the end of February 2012 Romantic Times Book Review. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will check out my other Flashback Mondays. Maybe you found an author to read. Maybe you found a new series to read. I hope you will check it all out. And please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget Fridays. If then, and don't forget my daily book reviews. I've got a few new 2024 books, and we're also finishing up James Patterson's Alex Cross series, and C.S. Harris St. Cyr series is also coming to an end too. And we'll start Catherine Coulter's FBI series, I guess, and I'm trying to look for another couple of series to get into. We'll see what happens. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.